Well, this morning we are talking about healing. And this is the last talk in my series of healing. But, I mean, healing goes on. So, I wanted to use the analogy of planting. You know, why in the middle of summer are we talking about planting? Because, you know, the harvest is coming soon, you know, right? It's right around the corner and if you think of harvesting in mind, we're always planting something into our mind. Always. You are always being a gardener or a farmer, if you will. So, what are you planting in mind? What are you planting in your mind? Similar to planting seeds in a garden, we also plant mental seeds in our mind's garden. And I want to bring you back to the questions that I've proposed this month. There's 5 questions and a statement. And these are available on the back Love in Action counter if you wanted to take them with you and maybe pencil some notes for yourself in there. I just wanted to make that available. People keep saying, you keep talking about all this stuff, and then you don't give out the questions. You know, well, I have the questions now, and you can also go on our YouTube channel and watch this video again. So here's the questions. Number 1, why am I here? Why am I here? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Now, what are you doing here? Not this morning, but in this plane of existence, this time around. What is yours to do? Number 2, what wants to know me? What energy is grabbing your awareness? What wants to know you? Think about it. Number 3, what wants me to release it? Ooh. What do you have a stranglehold on? What needs for you to let it go? Is it jealousy? Is it envy? Is it greed? I'm not stating what it is for you, but what's yours to do? What's yours to let go of? Number 4, what is mine to do right now? And I'll give the parentheses after that, is to enjoy your life. That's what I came up with for myself is, right now, instead of being in the future about worrying about what might happen, or being in the past and regretting what I did or didn't do, I'm going to live in the now and enjoy what I am doing. It's a great place to be. Welcome to the now. We've been expecting you. Thank you for not disappointing us. Number 5, do I know how great I am? Do you know how great you are? And I don't mean like, I'm great. I mean consciously how big you are. How great you are. How great thou art. You are the thou. You have an expanding consciousness and can think whatever you choose. I choose to focus on love. The minute we go into love, we know why we're here. A little update on our Respond with Love bumper stickers. Our congregant has come forward. They have been ordered. They should be here in the next week or so. Is that what Nancy was taking care of that for us? So we're all going to have Respond with Love bumper stickers. If you choose to respond with love, or even if you don't, put it on there. Someone will beep at you, and you'll think that they want to get by you, and they'll wave. And go, in the twinkling of an eye, we can change our mind, right? Whatever we set in motion in mind will return to us. What about your life right now? What are you thinking? My mom's favorite line. What are you thinking? I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I was just doing what I wanted to do. That's the problem. You didn't think. But what are you thinking? Think about some of your challenges. What's the gift in it? What's the message in your challenge? Instead of dwelling on how bad or challenging it can be, ask for the message. Ask it like you would a person. What are you trying to tell me? Respond with love. Excuse me. So to transcend bad situations, we must rise above them in consciousness and think higher thoughts. And I like to, for me, I had to mature out of some of my stinking thinking. I had to grow out of it or get over it. I don't mean like get over it. I mean like get over it in consciousness. You are bigger than your challenge. If you weren't, it would have gobbled you up and spit you out, and you would have transitioned to the next coil of existence long ago. But there's something for you to know within it. The law of cause and effect receives every small and large thought and acts upon them immediately. Sometimes it happens immediately. You ever manifest anything spontaneously? We've all done that. We've all kind of thought about somebody or something, and all of a sudden it came into our plane of existence, and we're like, whoa, how did that happen? I was just thinking about the person that called me. Whoa, freak. But there's something happening there. You are in touch with all that is. And when we remember that, the connection is made. Regardless of the situation that you're currently in, there is hope, and there's one common denominator in your challenge. You. Who? Always get me with that. This teaching always brings it back to me. I wanted to throw that textbook. Don't you know the trouble I've seen? Yes, we do. We've got a t-shirt, a tattoo, and a double. But we need to grow up a little. And I'm talking about myself. I need to look at the TV and know that this is entertainment. They're showing me a prayer request. They used to say the newspapers are prayer requests, but I don't see the newspaper that often anymore. We should be reading the newspapers, but we have a new way. We have a thumb device that brings us our information. Look at it differently. Start thinking good, higher, resonating thoughts now, and your situation will change now, or very soon. But we need to be in the consciousness of it. What does your situation look like completely worked out? I went dim for a second. What does your situation look like resolved? Resolved. We're going to solve it again. So let's get back to our idea about planting. An unattended mind can create peace, love, or havoc for you because your mind is amazingly receptive to whatever suggestions may be dropped into it, just like the soil. The soil will grow whatever seed is dropped into it, and your mind is the same way. What are you thinking? What are you sowing? What plants are you growing in your mind? It has been said that the subconscious mind cannot take a joke. This simply means that whatever is introduced to it, it takes a serious instruction to grow that thought seed into a full-blown plant. Be it a rose or a weed, it does not care. So what are you growing? What are you nourishing? You know, place I lived long ago, one of my first homes had this path along up to the front door, and there was some places to grow things along their little garden, for flowers. Well, some weeds had grown in there. And so I got out the weed whacker, right? Cut those weeds back and then planted little mums and stuff. It was beautiful, they all came up. But so did the weeds. Because being a juvenile gardener, I did not know that you had to pull the weeds out by the roots. Like every root. Or they come back. And the weeds in our mind are the same way. That sometimes the things we thought we got with the weed whacker still have roots. And sometimes they grow even bigger when you cut them off just at the surface. The roots go even deeper and go, oh yeah, watch me grow now. That just gave me more incentive to show you how strong I am. And it wasn't until I realized how that worked that I could get down there and pull them out by the roots and shake off the good nutrients of dirt and leave that and get rid of the weeds. It's the same way in our life. If we don't uproot completely, the weed will grow back. The subconscious mind, the universe, always says yes to every seed planted, positive or otherwise. So be aware of what you're saying yes to. You may not even know that you're saying yes to something. This happens sometimes when we're passionately saying no. When you put passion behind something, the universe only hears your passion. That's why we have to say in a calm voice, no, I'm choosing something else. And then put your passion in your yes. I do want roses. No, weeds are not here. And I will pull them up by the roots. And I will grow roses. And I will fertilize them with good thoughts. Right? When you stop to consider how many thought seeds are blown, dropped, or purposely planted in your mind on a daily basis, it may cause you to tend to your mental garden with a bit more regularity. Because if everything grows, what are you growing? What have you turned on the TV to? You ever fall asleep to the TV? Oh, man, those dreams are wild. What was I thinking? Well, this is what's so powerful about when you fall asleep to something, is that you have turned off your conscious ability to say no. It's like somebody coming in and falling asleep to my service, which happens. And you may say, oh, well, that's such a disservice to the minister. Absolutely not. I love when people fall asleep. That means I'm talking directly to your subconscious mind. That means I get to be your planter. So don't fall asleep to the TV. Put some nice music on, or put something on that's positive, that grows your consciousness. Because when you're in that in-between awake and asleep is when your garden is most open to being planted in. So, in addition to all the seeds that were planted in your mind before you knew you even had one, your mind hears the radio, the TV, or others talking in a restaurant, irrespective of whether you are conscious of it or not. When you engage in gossip or negative conversation with or about others, your subconscious mind hears it all. It's always going like this. The universe is always going like this, saying, yes. Be careful what you think. Be careful what you plant in the soil, in the soul of your consciousness. Soul. It just grows it. When you, here's the hook. The universe takes it personally about you. The only way to avoid this type of mind pollution is to be consciously focused on what you have planted and are growing in your flower box called life. What are you growing in your flower box? You know, I left it unattended, and man, I can grow weeds. I mean, I thought dandelions were flowers. And they are, and they're beautiful. But man, they just nix everything else you planted around them. They just, you know, it's very interesting. So, we're talking 24/7 here. The action you and I take is clear, isn't it? It is proven that the human mind thinks thousands of thoughts a day. What are you thinking? So, once I became aware that I was the planter and that I was thinking negatively, then I started dwelling on how negative I was thinking. And I was like, okay, now this is not good. I've created more of a challenge. But that's called awareness. Now, you can put in a new filter. Pull out the filter of challenge and put in the metaphysical filter. I run everything through this metaphysical filter now. And if it is not positive or loving, it bounces off and goes back out. Only the good stuff comes in. That's what being here on Sunday does. That's what our classes do. They change your filter. They get you to see a new thought. That's what this movement's all about. New thought. There is a new way to look at things. And here you are. So let's take out that old filter, that stinking thinking filter. Now, for some reason, I had this default of negativity. I don't know why that was, but it took me a while to realize that I could change my own filter. But do it. Become aware that your filter is cloudy. And what happens if you don't change the filter? The bad thoughts back up and push themselves through. Because we're not aware. The weeds just keep coming up. We have to change the filter. We have to get in the soil and pull up the roots. Maybe you even want to take the whole soil out. You ever done that? Like, it's so challenged, it needs new nutrients. Pull the soil out and put new soil in. You know, that's how I changed churches. You know, I just went to another church. I found that my old church that was saying that I was bad and wrong and sinning and didn't work for me. I had to change the soil. And I found something that worked here. This is what's called changing the soil, is that you found your new home here. Thus, you know, if your religion is not moving you, you must move your religion. Yeah. And this isn't a religion, this is more of a philosophy and a way of life. There's nothing wrong with religion, because I hope that you're studying this religiously. Right? I hope you're studying positive thought like your religion, because I want the very best for everyone. Because once I understood that there's only one of us here, and I was talking bad about anybody, I was talking bad about myself. I was like, ooh, the guy that just cut me off. I've got to wave all 5 fingers. You know, I have to learn to say hi. And here's one of the biggest metaphysical things you can do when somebody cuts you off. Oh, please go in front of me. You apparently have somewhere to be that's much more important than me. So you go there. Your good is elsewhere. Go there quickly. And let it go. Let it go. So, instead of planting a mixed bag of thousands of various seeds, confused and unfocused thinking that will require a full-time gardener to pull up the weeds, specialize in planting one or two types of seeds: positivity, joyfulness, loving thoughts. Learn to respond with love. And I say learn because it's easy to default to the challenge and go, they're wrong, they're bad, oh, what am I doing? What am I planting? Wrong, bad. They're expressing, God bless them. I choose love. Love will always grow over any challenge. If you can introduce love to whatever your challenge is, mark my words, something good will happen. So, when we start to respond with love, planting thought seeds about yourself and others that are rooted in reverence and loving kindness, we plant seeds that focus on infinite presence at the center and circumference of all that we say, think, and do. All of a sudden, our lives start to change. Something odd starts to happen. You start to become attractive. I don't mean like, oh, look at you. It's more like your energy has shifted to where people of like mind are attracted to you. And people of confused mind are attracted to you because they want to know what the heck is going on with you and why you can feel so good in the line at the grocery store when the tabloids are filled with all sorts of interesting ideas and you're smiling and you're singing to yourself and having a good time. What the heck is making you so happy? I'm growing roses. I'm growing roses in my life and everything's coming up roses. For me and for you. Oh, my mom's favorite poem. So be mindful. Speak only love. Now more than ever, speak only love. We are being called to be separate and to remember our separation. We're smarter than that. You can't fool me, God. I know what you're doing. You're calling this up to remind me of how connected we truly are. See, God is very interesting in that it offers us opportunities to remember who we are all the time. And at first we may be fooled and go, oh, that's such and such and blah, blah. Wait, I've become part of the challenge. Remember who you are. Lion King, right? Remember who you are. Truly, remember who you are. Who are you? God. It can be no other way. A slice out of the apple pie is still apple pie. And what did Rumi say? Let's go back to our teaching. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are not only a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. You are the entire ocean in a drop. That means that you can play not God. I mean, as part of the fun here is getting into the challenge. But soon we have to grow out of it. Who are you growing into? Who are you maturing into? Are you responding with love? So be skillful in the seeds you're planting and how you nurture them. Your life is your garden. Keep the weeds out because that is the only way in which you can personally beautify our world. You owe that much to yourself and to those who receive the benefit of the seeds that you are dropping along the way. What seeds are you dropping along the way of the people that you meet in the world? Are you agreeing with the negativity? Oh, yeah, or are you, it's interesting around the water cooler, when everybody's talking about management and how bad it is. And you go, well, they do give us days off. All of a sudden they go, oh, yeah, I got to get back to work. All of a sudden, you're the wet blanket when actually you're the drying machine that dries the wet blanket because truth introduced to fear responds with love. When somebody's afraid of something and you take the fear away and introduce love, what was I upset about again? I don't even remember. That's where we want to live, right?
Right.
We want to live in the love. So, in conclusion, why am I here? What wants to know me? What wants me to release it? What is mine to do right now? Start enjoying your life. And do I know how great I am? Do you know how great you are? Let me tell you something. I know who you are, God. You cannot fool me. I know something wonderful is happening, no matter what it looks like. There is a blessing, a miracle. You know, we're only one mouse click away from a miracle. It's for all you computer people. No computer. We're only one thought away from a new idea. Respond with love. Your mind is a powerful tool, and you're absolutely in control of what's being planted into your garden of your life. You are the farmer of your thoughts, and you can sow yourself a beautiful garden. You can create change at any moment. You can make over your mind by beginning to plant different seeds right now. You alone are the farmer and the cultivator of your life. You can't blame anybody but yourself. You know, your parents, their whole job was just to get you onto the planet, and they're done. So if you're blaming your parents for what they did or did not do, and not to minimize what challenges we do to each other, but they did their job. They got you here. It's on you now. And anybody else that's giving you a hard time, that's on them. Walk away. Start new and respond with love. Only you can produce beautiful things in abundance in your life when you become conscious of what you're planting. Wake up! Become conscious of what you're planting. Wake up! I'm just being funny. But I want you to wake up! You can create your own happiness, your own success, and your own change. If somebody writes you a pink slip, write yourself a green slip somewhere else, man. You know what? That just means that they don't know that you are the best thing since sliced bread, and that's their problem. Maybe there's something for you to learn in that. I'm just saying, that's what I found. Is I could get depressed about what somebody did to me, or I could get the gift and walk on and be better for it and love them along the way. Right? You can create your own happiness, your own success, and your own change. Plant and grow positive, kind, loving seed thoughts to create a better you. And so it is.
And so it is. Woo-hoo. Thank you.
It's time for us to follow our teaching and go within. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or take a soft focus on the candles or the flowers, or just find yourself within yourself. And I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness of what you believe the creative energy of life is for you. Call it Christ consciousness, call it goddess energy, source energy. Whatever works for you is your business. I'm not going to tell you what it is for you because that's yours, but I think we can agree that there is something animating us. Some energy of life is expressing, is receptive to our thoughts, and responds with love. I know that each one of us, being a place of unity, of wholeness, of joy, and of peace, have come for a reason. I may not know what your reason is, but I know that you know. And if you don't know, make finding it out your reason. Because we're all trying to figure it out. But I know that whatever energy placed us here has already figured it out. So when we put our awareness on the energy of love, we have already figured it out. And within that knowledge, we turn away from the fear. Not to deny it, but not to give it any more power. Because I believe energy flows where our attention goes. And as we concentrate on what we do want, we sprinkle seeds of love along our path. And soon we are living in a garden of love, where all the things that we have come to this plane of existence to be, do, and have begin to grow up around us. As we thank the weeds and pull them by the roots and mulch them properly, they become what grows the next rose in our life. So as we begin to focus on what we do want, that which we are starts to express. Love begins to blossom and bloom. And you begin to live in a springtime of perpetual love, even when you're in the winter of your life, because there's beauty in all the seasons. Start to love what is, and the messages, the information will be brought to you. Maybe you need to have a moment by yourself and have a little cry in releasing something that no longer serves you. That's okay. Tears are good and healthy. They make way for new love, new power, new passion. So I give great thanks for this day, for these new thoughts that are coming in constantly, that are always, these new seeds of love that are always available to us. As we choose those seeds of love wisely, we become the love that we seek. So I'm grateful for this love, this healing, this revealing of the truth, as we release this word directly into that living, loving law of source, where it returns to us instantaneously as the miraculous energy that we truly are. So we let go, and we let God be God in us, as the love that we are, as we release it together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay.